Welcome back, everyone, to the I Can Do This All Day podcast. I'm Dan, the part-time Avenger. With me, as always, is Mark, the resident Jedi.
Hello there. Today we're here to talk about the first Star Wars movie release since 2019, pre-COVID. So 7 years since Star Wars has graced the cinema screen. And that, my friends, is with The Mandalorian and Grogu.
We are back with a Star Wars movie, which it's been some time. I know we've done a little bit of the Star Wars TV shows for the podcast, but it's kind of nice to be able to go to a theater, check it out, or at least we think that it is. The idea of it's really nice, right? But when it came to The Mandalorian, I mean, I thought I was like pretty much into this movie once it was announced. I just want to see it because I did enjoy the TV show, but I want to start this off just like how we do with every other podcast, is just kind of talking about the origin with The Mandalorian in itself. And so I'll kind of go first because initially I just thought The Mandalorian was just a lot of walking. Like it was like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, except in TV show form. And it was like, they were short episodes. That first season, not very long episodes, and a lot of it was spent walking and traveling somewhere. So I wasn't like a huge fan of it. I liked it as time went on, but you kind of had to do the little bit of the patience exercise with kind of almost a slow burn as to like, well, where the fuck is he going to? And why are we going there? And that's my origin with it. But I grew to like it even more with season 2 and season 3, even though season 3 people kind of shit on. The fact that he was in the Boba Fett TV show he was the best part of the Boba Fett TV show, so I was happy about that. But Mark, why don't you tell the audience your origin with The Mandalorian?
I mean, I saw it the same time everybody else did when it started streaming on Disney Plus, and I did not think the slow pacing was that bad. It was nice to see Star Wars start a series that had zero affiliation with any Skywalker or anything. Eventually, they brought in Luke, which was like the best episode of the TV show was the rescue.
Sweet.
But they went into it and just established a new character living in this post-imperial world. Like and with remnants and it was very gritty. I didn't know I wanted to see a Star Wars Western, but that's what they gave us, which is very original from a Lucas perspective. It's the most George Lucas touched thing we've gotten, or George Lucas like influence thing we've gotten from Star Wars since the prequels. And I was really game for it. And it felt more, not adult, but it was just good. And it showed that Star Wars as a serialized show would just work. And it led to so many other series and such a different way of taking in and getting more mythology into the wars of the star, right? Into the universe. Everything outside of movies, other than the holiday special, has been cartoons or books or comics. And there's a lot of people that are not stoked to watch an animated.
That's me. I'm not necessarily stoked to watch that, but yeah. What were your expectations going into this movie? What were you hoping to get out from it? What were you hoping that we were going to do?
I was just, excited to see who they brought along, because I think my expectation of this movie from the jump was much like the TV series. It was going to be Filoni and Favreau giving you all of the characters that you saw in the Clone Wars and Rebels and just having hijinks. I didn't think that there was going to be this like large scale, bigger than thou a villain that they had to take out, or in the long and short of it, the stakes of a lone bounty hunter and his apprentice aren't as global as all the other Star Wars movies where it's, light side versus dark side. So my expectation was not to have these crazy big stakes. My expectation, honestly, is like, okay, we're going to get a movie that probably could be a new season of the show, but it's going to be a movie, and that's fine. Like, let's go. And that's what we got, essentially. Like, expectations exceeded. What about you? You are, I don't think that you're as studied in the Filoni-ness that he brought. Like, you didn't get a lot of the Easter eggs that he brought initially to the shows. So I'm curious what your expectation going into this was.
I honestly didn't really have a whole lot of expectations. I just knew that I liked those characters, and it's like, okay, cool, Star Wars, going to see it. I actually took my youngest to see it with me, and so he's 8. My oldest didn't want to see it. My wife did want to see it, but she was like, "Ah, you guys could just go." So it's kind of like a cool little father and son date, if you will. And he was like all about it, and was like, "Okay, cool, we'll see how he likes it." And theater was packed. The only thing that I kind of had some expectations were like, okay, there's going to be Easter eggs. That's it. Like, I just knew, or I was expecting, like, there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs in here. Very much so, like, a lot of the Star Wars stuff that I assume is going to have little Easter eggs and callbacks, but I just don't know enough about them, about the whole mythos to where it's like, okay, well, that one just fucking fell flat. But I had a pretty keen eye, and as I was going through this, I was like, oh, there, yep, got it, okay, all right, cool, I know what that is right there. And so, yeah, that was pretty much it. Expectations met for that. You know, I'm not saying if the overall if the movie was good or bad, but I did notice, like, that's one of the things that I don't like about watching some of the Star Wars content now is that, and I'm happy for the fans where they get to see some of the Easter eggs that they know what it is, right? But here I am, you know, like I grew up on the original trilogy, and then, you know, I watched a little bit more of the sequel trilogy or the prequels, and then I watched the sequel trilogy maybe once and a half through. I don't even think I watched it more. I've not watched any other movie in that trilogy more than 2 times. I don't even think it's made it up to 2 times. It's like I'll always cut it short because I just don't care. So everything else that I've seen, whether it's, you know, Tales from the Empire, The Acolyte, what was Skeleton Crew, some of those things I just didn't understand, and so it just kind of fell flat on me. But this one, I feel like I got a pretty good handle of everything, so I was
You
happy to
didn't leave
see it.
early. You didn't cut it off.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I stayed for the entire movie. But it's nice to get those references as opposed to, like, you know, just kind of looking at it and just like, what was that weird, you know, 2-second pan on that character for? Like, who the fuck is that? Like, you know. So I knew when I saw Filoni there, I was like, well, of course Filoni's gonna be in this. Favreau directed it, so of course they're all buddy. So, but it was cool. It was cool to see some of that stuff.
Yeah, I think that there were some. I think there were some characters I wish I saw in it that I didn't as well. Like we saw all of the. Let's talk about the Easter eggs, right? All of the directors from the Mandalorian TV show were in it, right?
I didn't know all of them, but I knew that there were some in there. Like I had
That's a
heard that
lot
they
of the
were.
like X-wing pilots and random rebels like that. That's who that was. But I was like, where's my guy Bill Burr?
Oh, you thought he was going to be in? I didn't think he was going to be in
I
it.
mean,
I
you
thought he
bring
was
this
done.
emotional depth of acting capability in, and we can't get Bill Burr.
Yeah, it would be cool to see him in it.
Just
man,
a cameo.
Miggs Mayfield.
Just a random, just a, hey, I need help with something. Okay, I'm not getting involved, but I'll help you, you know, whatever. Like just that. Just a little, that was the one thing I was, you know, and there was no Jedi in it, which like,
Did you want a Jedi?
I don't know.
There was only one Jedi at the time. It was Luke. That was it. I did think that Luke was going to be there though, because you saw R2 getting taken out of an X-wing. Or I'm right on that, right? Like I just didn't make that up. I
don't
saw
think it was
R2 being
I think
lifted.
it was just
I mean, that motherfucker looked just like R2.
I don't remember that specific scene, candidly.
Wow. Okay. So that's where I was thinking, like, are they gonna show him in this? Like, maybe they're gonna show him start the Jedi Academy or something. Like, you know, he's walking back from his X-wing, just sees like this kid playing with the bouncy ball. It's like, hey kid, want to see something cool? Like, I just feel like you do something weird like that. Just like, I got some candy over by my X-wing over here. You want to come take a look?
Don't cheapen Luke. But I think that there was a lot of Easter eggs I didn't expect. I don't know if you want to dig into those first or if you want to go
let's go
through the plot points. But did you know that Rhoda the Hutt was from the OG animated Clone Wars movie?
Not until after, when I was reading some stuff about it.
I was like, are you fucking, like, Dave Filoni used only Dave Filoni characters. And I was like, man, that's okay. I liked the Rhoda journey. I didn't dislike it. I was just like, man, That was the most annoying part of that movie, is the little hut. So maybe it was like a retribution arc for an annoying character, but that would have been another reason to see Ahsoka in this, because she took care of the hut, or even like any of the other Mandalorians. But I guess he went full on or independent from
Yeah,
his
he's an
clan.
independent contractor. He did say he was an independent
Yeah, he did.
contractor, so
He did. It was cool to see the Razor Crest back, or a Razor Crest back, because that moment in the show where they destroyed it was like, you just took out one of the coolest parts. I mean, I dug that they retrofitted a Naboo starfighter for it too, but I'm like, I remember timing of that episode. Are you familiar with HasLab? Hasbro has a fan funded thing that they'll do for like toys and special releases. And it's usually for things that are going to be like large and detailed, and like, we're not just going to put this in every store, but if you want to pre-order it, we'll take all the pre-orders and we'll make a limited number of them, and you can have them, right? So the HasLab for the Razor Crest had recently closed, with like an absurd number of people having paid for this like multi-$100 toy because they were so into it and into the Mandalorian as a show. And then they just fucking blew it up before they even fulfilled the toy orders, right? Like, pre-orders had closed, release was not there yet. And I'm just like, oh damn, all these people are gonna be so pissed. So I'm sure they were super happy to have it back. It also got a new Lego set, like a less detailed one, but there was a Lego set for it that got released in time with the movie. You didn't see him fly his N1 starfighter. You saw it like in the parking lot of his house. Like, oh, it's still there, but now I got this bitch again, which was cool. But the Easter egg around that was cool. I'm curious, did you get the beings in the pit of the hut?
yeah, absolutely, 100%. They looked identical as to what I watched A New Hope so many times. I was like, those are the guys from the Holochess game. Like, that was fucking awesome. And they did it exactly the way, like when
Yeah, the
R2 beat
Dejarik
Chewie,
game.
like that. That was fucking sweet. That was
Yeah.
so cool.
That's not what I'm talking about, though. I'm talking about when he fell into the pit on Now Hutta, and he fought the
sea creature.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
I
little
don't know what the fuck that is.
flat-faced thing that looked kind of like a cobra.
No, I don't know. I mean,
So what those were a toy that Hasbro released back in the 80s. Like, when they were
really?
stretching for additional alien characters to put out there, is just a random OG figure that now they brought it in and put it in a like, that's some of the stuff that Filoni does that I'm a huge fan of. It's just like so much fan service, which at this point is what you want, right? But yeah, the Dejarik match, it was just like, did you make that? Is that a thing? That now it's a thing? And I thought that was super cool. Like, all of the characters were.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. And I was happy to see, like, my youngest, who had no idea what the fuck was going on. He just thought it was like a cool little fight scene. But yeah, I like that little nod. And it's like, okay, great. That's something that I know. That's something that I watched, I picked up. I didn't have to do research and go into a deep dive on the dark web to find out, like, well, this was actually a canceled character from the 1984 Ewoks cartoon. Like, no, I knew who it was. I was happy about it. I will say, Jeremy Allen White as Rada just seemed there. I wasn't until after that I was like, okay, I wasn't the only one that thought this, that he just kind of phoned in the lines. Like, it's like, it was. I tried not to think of it that way, but I was like, man, he's just like not really putting a whole lot. Like, you could have literally gotten any voice actor to do it. Like, I guess Jeremy Allen White that's cool. Like, I like the bear, and I liked his performance in the Iron Claw, but at the same time, like, I wasn't yearning for Jeremy Allen White as a Hutt. What about you?
Yeah, I when every other Hutt has like a weird voice pattern, and you give this one just normal.
Yeah, with English, speaking English.
Basic. It's basic. It's basic. But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I thought the muscly Hutt was funny. because like you just see him all as you see Jabba as a big blob, right? But like dude's got defined back muscles and he's got to get special robo massages after he beats people down. But I mean, in general, you're right. It didn't wow me. I wasn't like, oh, that's who that is. But there could have. My guess is that there's got to be. This feels like it went through some rewrites. Does it feel that way to you?
No, because I thought the plot itself was pretty weak. So like, how could you rewrite a plot that was weak and
That's
make
what
it
I mean.
weaker
Like it
throughout?
doesn't feel like it had this strong forward motion to a thing. So they just kind of did the thing.
So you know what I immediately thought of as I was watching this movie? About, I don't know if it was quite half the way through, but 3/4 of the way through, when I was kind of like checking my watch as to like how much time is left in this movie, I thought that like, oh, they pulled a Tom Cruise. They basically just wrote action scenes and they were trying to make the plot go around it. I think that's that's what it seemed like to me. Because don't get me wrong, action is my thing and I like the action in it. There just wasn't a whole lot of story there to go from one action scene to the other. I was like, okay, I guess this is stretching a little bit. Okay, like, all right, you're gonna take a little bit of break. Shit, man, there's half the movie left, so like, there's something's got to happen here. And so it's like you. Otherwise, it could have literally been done. Like you would have seen the credits roll after. It's like, I'm gonna take a break. Dun, and there we
Well,
go.
it felt like multiple episodes of a TV show put together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm
Is
not
that a
mad
problem?
about.
Yeah, I don't. I understand why some people would think that, but like I was seeing like a lot of hate online saying like, this basically just, there was no stakes involved in this. There was no reason for certain things to happen. All it did was undo or cheapen the stuff that happened in the TV series. Like, it's like, really? That's what you think? Like, I don't. The TV series itself did that. The movie didn't do that. The TV series did, which, you know, like, I don't know why you're thinking like it's the movie's fault for taking some of these like emotional moments, like when Grogu and Din have to say goodbye to each other. Like, that was a very touching scene, but the movie didn't redo that. Like, it didn't sabotage it. It happened in the next season. Like, well, what's the problem here? Like, there's no problem in this movie being something completely different. It was a buddy cop movie in space, except it was, what was it? What was that Burt Reynolds movie with the kid? Cop and a Half. It was basically Cop and a Half with Pedro Pascal and Grogu. So it's like, it's fine. I enjoy buddy cop movies. I enjoy comedies. I enjoy action films, and that's kind of like a good balance of what we got there. And I do love myself some Star Wars. So you get a little bit of some fan service in there, some Easter eggs and everything. But audience, if you're listening right now, comments if you also saw R2 in the X-Wing after Din came back, because I swear to God I saw him. Swear to God I saw him.
I do enjoy your buddy cop like throw in, right? I think that does take it. This movie follows that archetype. It also, as far as the standalone Star Wars movies that we've gotten, like Rogue One, Solo, and this is the only one where we've gone into the movie not knowing what the outcome of the movie is, right? We know what happens in Rogue One. They get the Death Star plans. We know what happens in Solo. He gets the Millennium Falcon and he's going to make the Kessel Run. In this, you don't know, which is kind of like, I don't want to call it odd for Star Wars, but it's something that we've only gotten so many times.
I mean, you got it in The Acolyte and people shit on it. You got it in
But
Skeleton
I didn't
Crew
shit on
and
the
people shit
Acolyte.
on it.
I wish they
No,
did
no,
a
I'm not saying
season
you
2.
did.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew, you got it as well. But I do agree, like doing this after the show, you do miss some of like the highlight emotional moments. You get all of the like the saying goodbye, the mythosaur thing on Mandalore. I'm like, oh, they took his helmet off. He's gonna go back to Mandalore. No, he's just gonna kill everybody. Dang. I was like, oh, great. Then he's going to go recruit the Mandalorians to help him. Nope, he didn't do that. So, I thought there was a lot of ways they could have went.
I'm kind of glad that he didn't do that, though, because, like, if you're going to be a lone gunslinger shouldn't have to go to his pals and say, like, I got my ass kicked. Can you guys help me out? Like, I feel like that's not the way. That is not the way. And so I was happy that it's like, yep, he's going to stick solo. He's going to stick to his guns, and he will take on whatever type of army or group that he has to fight. And if I like the fact that even though he had the poison in him, he's like, okay, you guys get out of here. I'll be right behind you. Like, ooh, well, he's not gonna die. I didn't think he was gonna die at all. There at no point did I think like, nah, he's fine. And I was just thinking like, okay, well, he's doing a Captain America thing right now. He's like, all right, you guys go. I'll be right behind. And he was he was doing his thing, just slaughtering people because he's that damn efficient. It was so cool because like my youngest was at times he was like, and granted, this is if you could picture an 8-year-old saying this with enthusiasm, like, bro, he's John Wick, bro, like just like saying that, and then at one point when he was fighting the other bounty hunter, he was just like, Mortal Kombat, bro. It's like just kind of funny where it's like, yeah, it was like I thought the same thing. It looked like it was Kung Lao versus I don't know, one of the ninjas, or fighting the Mandalorian. But it was funny just to be able to see that. Like, yeah, there was a good amalgamation of the action, and I thought it was really well balanced because you have a little bit of Western in there, you have a little bit of gunplay and martial arts, and it was good. It was good choreography. It wasn't like this half-assed, like you believe that Din Djarin he is the Mando. He is a bad motherfucker. Like,
Just
you believe it.
they definitely made him in this movie, I think, more efficient at ass kicking than he ever was in the show.
Yeah.
Just like, oh,
I
he's
mean,
been doing this for a minute now, and he is fully equipped and ready to pound. Like, just the way you went through the AT-ATs at the beginning,
oh, yeah.
like, that was
Yeah.
such a cool scene. And he just fully beat them down. It's funny that
Which makes
your
Luke.
son was like, John Wick, and we brought Ben, and he's 5. Is his first like Star Wars movie in the theaters. He's seen the other one, so my wife was like, he's already seen this kind of violence. It's fine. And then all the gunplay happened. And I'm like, was this too violent? But he's like, no, I love violence. So
Good
he
for him.
loved it, but it was definitely, it kept his attention through, which means it wasn't just a throwaway violence movie. It had a whole lot of heart to it too. Like, Grogu built a Yoda hut for Mando, and then tried to, constantly push him into it. That was funny.
That was really funny. So audience for your viewing, what was the audience like?
We went the first day it was on in theaters because we were going out of town for the weekend. So we went Thursday night, not an open seat in the theater. A lot of people leaving AMC with multiple popcorn buckets and spending ungodly amounts of money on an AT-AT popcorn bucket. I'm just like, but yeah, there was a lot of people there. And like my theater was okay. They laughed at the laugh parts. The Mando multiple head bumps part was definitely the biggest laugh in the movie. But I don't know. It wasn't an Endgame crowd by any means, but it wasn't an Endgame type cheer movie.
My theater was pretty silent, like throughout everything. And here's the thing. I don't know if it was because it wasn't funny or the lines didn't work, but I understood like that's kind of humorous right there. And like nothing from the audience. And like I was probably the most vocal where I'd kind of like, huh.
I
And
really
then that
like,
was it. Like,
I can't remember the last time I was in a theater and like like you ever got that Endgame or Force Awakens type crowd.
yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat 2 was the last movie that I had where there was a pretty active audience. That and Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. Those were the last 2 movies that I remember the audience. And Naked Gun was like 6 people in the audience. 4 of my family and then 2 other people in a couple of rows in front of us. And that was like the most, like they were laughing hard, I was laughing hard. It was fun. But this movie, yeah, not much of audience interaction, participation. Actually, I thought it was going to be a little bit rough because there were people behind me, and one of the guys was telling someone to shut the F up. And I was thinking, like, oh my God, this is going to be awful. I've got my kids here. Like, am I going to have to say something to this guy to, like, not swear in front of these kids. Not that I really care anyways, but at the same time, it's just being respectful for all the other people in the audience. And this guy's just like letting F bombs fly. And so I was a little bit bummed that there were no. I mean, I'm sure there were Star Wars nerds out there, but there was no one that was like driving that audience participation factor of it, you know. And I think that's a shame because that's one of the movies that I think you should, with that type of fandom, people should just go ahead and be their nerdy selves. Maybe it's where I live. I don't know. Maybe it's just the audience that I had,
I
but I know that there's nerds out there that want to rejoice at certain parts. I know I did.
You know, you may be onto something that it may be the theater, right? Maybe just the area. Because I went at my local AMC, which is, you know, in the middle of the suburbs. It's not one that does events or is, you know, but I saw Endgame and Force Awakens at Hollywood Boulevard. Do you know of the Boulevard? That the crowd you get there is top of the nerd heap for all the opening night stuff. So I'm wondering that. But yeah, I was, you know, I didn't think about it until we talked about it. It was kind of, my crowd was disappointing and it was full, like full. Like
Hmm.
normally if you book 3 seats in AMC because their recliners are like a love seat, people will leave the seat open. No, did not happen.
Man, I haven't seen a theater with the love seats in forever. Not since when I was at Marcus in Orland Park. Like that stuff just doesn't. We all have the theater across from my house is all the little recliner seats now. So there's
Yeah,
no
they're
love
both
seats.
recliners, but it has a big armrest in the middle of the two that you can pull up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's kind of
the
cool.
AMC seats do.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's that was disappointing. But from the movie perspective, I thought that the 3 parts of this movie flowed at least. Like they worked into each other as opposed to being a big divergence. Like the plot built on itself to get where it needed to go and you kind of understood why.
I'm curious. Wait. So time out. I should have asked this earlier, but I'm curious now just because you said it. What is your version of the plot?
Uh Bounty hunter with a heart hunts bounties, gets ridiculed for bringing him in cold, so he brings one in warm, and in doing so, saves a child from his father's shadow, much to the chagrin of the rest of his family, and hilarity ensues.
Okay. I had no idea really what the plot was. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, like the plot was fine because I was just like I'm along for the ride on this one. I
It wasn't
wasn't
like a
a
groundbreaking, it wasn't a Christopher Nolan movie, right? It
yeah.
wasn't this crazy, really make you think and reflect kind of thing. It was, you're here for the thing. Here's the thing. It's a good thing, but it's not fucking Shakespeare. It's
Yeah.
space Western.
I mean, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It's Star Wars. It's not like the plot was heavily really worked on in the first trilogy. You know, it's just like I mean, there's a plot, don't get me wrong. I'm saying like
But I
you
mean,
don't know what the hell.
this is Star Wars without the acolytes of good and evil in it, right? Without the ones that have this is bounty hunter Star Wars. This is like sub-level Star Wars without the really good one-liners about good and evil in the Force. It was just like, no, he likes to use the Force for snacks and moving his friend.
I thought it was interesting. What's the name of the race of those little mechanics, like the Babu Frick people?
I
And was
call
one
them
of
the
them
Babu
Babu
Frick
Frick?
people. There's a Nate. I forget it.
It's I feel like there's like jet shitties or something like that. Like
It
they're
starts
called
with an
something,
A.
but was one of them Babu
As
Frick for real?
Anzelians, Anzellans.
Okay. Was any of them Babu Frick or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. I thought those guys were funny. Just like the little one-liners that you could hear was pretty funny. So I was like, okay, well that's kind of cool. I thought this was much more of a, you know, you got the cute characters with Grogu and the mechanics. I feel like that's just kind of like a win-win, right? Like these cute little guys that, you know, anytime there's like a small little puppet moving, it's like you can't help it. Like, oh, that's cute, that's nice, you know, it's good for them.
the little ship that they had, and they just like show up as mechanics. It was a cool call-in. Like I definitely I liked it. It was solid. And the Lego set was really cool. We got it for my son, and it was super detailed and fun. I mean, that's kind of the stuff I love about Star Wars is it you can take the IP and transcend it to other things. Like they sell the hell out of it. But yeah, I thought that was a good like offshoot kind of buddy thing for Grogu. And I also thought him like getting all of his gear together was really funny too.
It was totally like a little Gremlins thing right there.
It
Like
it
when Gizmo puts on
absolutely
his,
was Gremlins 2. Or
it
is it
was cool.
Gremlins 1?
I like that.
Where he goes full Rambo.
Where he goes full Rambo? I can't remember now that you mentioned it, but either way, both good movies. Still fun. But yeah, I think this movie kind of had like a little bit of everything for everyone. For the fan service, you got some of the familiarity, Easter eggs there. You got from like just a sheer like, I need to have something cute in this movie. Like you got it. You got it with Grogu, and you got it with those little mechanic guys. And you have like, I disagree with people saying that everyone else kind of phoned in their performances, like Sigourney Weaver. Like, I don't think that at all. But people were saying that like her, Jeremy Allen White, like all the people besides Mandalorian and Grogu, just like they're just there. They phoned in performances. Like, I disagree. Jeremy Allen White, I agree to a certain extent,
They picked
but
a
he's a
non-voice
freaking
actor.
slob.
They picked a non-voice actor to do a voice acting role. Now, that doesn't mean he couldn't do it, because I mean, look at Adam Driver doing the mask work for Kylo Ren. Like, just great at it. We found Jeremy Allen White is not a voice actor. It's okay.
It was, I liked him and Grogu's little playtime at the beach. I thought that was kind of cute to see because, like, okay, cool. Like, you like Rod of the Hutt now. Like, he's not just like this fucking piece of shit like his dad is, right? I actually thought that they were all gonna be buddy buddy, and so I don't know if that really is the case towards the end, because I don't know, his little co-pilot is like, I got a uniform that'll fit him. I was like, so are they all gonna pal together in the next one, or did that just mean like he's gonna stay on wherever freaking place that they landed, and he's just gonna hang out with the rebels? I was confused by that.
I thought it meant he was joining the rebellion or the New Republic.
But I mean, did you think that he was gonna be with Mando and Grogu and all them?
No, I
No?
didn't.
Okay. I couldn't tell because I didn't know what Mando's association with that one pilot guy was.
Zeb.
Which I'm assuming he was from like a
He's
cartoon or
from
something,
Rebels.
right?
He's from
Okay, so he's
Rebels,
from
and
Rebels.
he was in the Mando show, I think. But yeah, that's Zeb.
Was he real? I don't fucking remember him
He
at
made
all.
one. They put him on screen once, but he's another
Okay.
Filoni character that came from Rebels, which was a Filoni-led show. Same as Hera and Ezra and all of those characters.
Did you? Were there any other Easter eggs that were like kind of a surprise to you?
I thought that when they had him build essentially a Yoda hut, I was like, is that just ingrained in him that he knows how to build a hut? And then when he was walking around with a glimmer stick, essentially, right? Like the stick that Yoda had, I thought that was just the little things that they did there. And the Filoni moment was it was a long one shot with no dialogue.
It was.
For a second. It was
like,
a little.
It didn't need to be that
long. It was a little long, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So I thought it was. There was just so much fan service in it across the board.
Was there any like voice actors that were in it that you know how Star Wars always has, like, Simon Pegg was in The Force Awakens and stuff like that. Like, was there any like big names like that were in the movie?
I don't. Not that I'm aware of, but Martin Scorsese.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I
was
remember
Hugo
seeing his name in the
Durant.
credits. That's funny how he was in that.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. I'm also looking to see who else they threw into this, because I did not dig. Did you notice in the credits that they named all of the stunt performers, the 3 Mandalorian performers, before anybody? Like they did Pedro Pascal, Brendan Wade, and Lateef Crowder first.
Didn't know that. Didn't realize it.
That was something they did in the credits that is not normally, the stunt performers don't normally get that kind of love, but I thought that was really cool. Anthony Daniels was an air traffic control
Oh,
droid
was it
in it.
really?
Yeah,
God, he's got to be like 80 something, right? Like he's got to be
he
up there in
is
age.
not young. His IMDb page doesn't even have his age on it. Wait, he was born in 46, so he's old.
Yeah, coming up is on
He's
80
like
then.
80.
Yeah.
It's past his birthday, so he's 80 for sure.
Okay.
But looking through, I don't see nearly as many random celebrities as like J.J. Abrams put in, any of the other Star Wars movies.
Gotcha.
But the only director from the Mandalorian show that wasn't in it was Bryce Dallas Harper, or Bryce Dallas Howard.
He's too busy. He's too busy playing baseball right
Yeah.
now, trying to. That's so. Callback to anyone who remembers that episode.
That's a standard Mark flub. Standard.
such a good callback.
What did you think of that final Mando battle after he went in, geared all up, and just went to town with the bounty hunter?
I thought it was cool. He didn't use enough of his weapons. That's my only thing. Is like he went Arnold Commando style and like geared up, and you only saw like two things that he used. Like really, I think
I was just waiting for the "that's not a knife, this is a knife" moment, and it came, but it was short-lived.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to see more. Like, if you're going to do a montage of gearing up, you better use every single one of those weapons. And I don't recall if he did. He uses the two, like, machetes, essentially. He uses that, like, yeah, and then, like, he uses, like, a few blasters and stuff. I don't remember him using anything else. And so that was my only, not even a gripe with it. It's just like, I wish that this would have gone a different way. But it was still badass. I thought, it was pretty evenly matched. And is that guy better than Din Djarin? I don't know. Maybe. It seems like he's pretty damn good. So
I would have liked to see more of the armor tools used. Like, they made a big deal about all the armor upgrades that he got during the show.
Yeah. But I think that I was kind of okay with that because just like people will criticize John Wick of like, well, he just has a bulletproof suit, so he just holds up his suit jacket. Like, I like the fact that they didn't just shoot his Beskar armor and, like, oh, he's fine. And then he just like takes people. He made it a point to not get hit, like, which is good because, like, yeah, you shouldn't fucking just bank on your armor. Like, you're not that great of a fighter if you are okay with taking hits. Like, you should be able to evade some of that stuff. And so I thought that was fine. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I agree with you to that extent too. Is like, that's like his religion. So why not, come up with something different with that, or why not do something to that effect? After he wins his bounty off of, bringing what's his name back, then he should have gotten some type of upgrade or something. Some type of upgrade that would have given him an upper hand against the other bounty hunter. Would have been sweet.
Yeah, all he got was a Razor Crest, which I thought was a cool way to bring it back.
Yeah, but then some people thought like, oh, that's cheap. They just bring it back. Like, you can't make anyone happy with the decisions that they make. It's like okay, well, there weren't enough. Like, oh, these Easter eggs are all from like, the original trilogy. Like, why can't they do something different from like Rebels? Blah blah blah. I was like, that was there too. So it's no one could be happy with this stuff. Except for me. I was pretty happy with everything that they did. Even the stuff that I didn't understand and didn't know, I was good with.
So let me ask you this, because my son has not watched the show, the Mandalorian show. We just never took the time to go through the seasons, and the release of the movie kind of snuck up on me. He still liked it. He had questions, which he's 5. He always has questions. But we always get on these with Star Wars especially, and some of the Marvel stuff. Did you have to know a lot about the characters to enjoy the movie?
That's a good question because since I've already seen 3 seasons of him, I feel like I know enough about him to give a shit. But if you did not watch the TV show, I would assume that you were going to be like, why the fuck is he bringing around this baby with him? Like, this is bad parenting. Why is he putting this child in harm's way? Right? Them not knowing that he's 50. plus years old. And so that's where it was just like, okay, well, that's interesting. I think to the casual fan that may have not have seen all the seasons of The Mandalorian, I think they might have a few issues with this. They might have a few issues, or at least confusion at the very least.
Okay.
What about you?
I thought that the initial battle set it off well enough to where you saw the capabilities of this person to get through the rest of the movie and kind of figure things out. You wouldn't get all the Easter eggs, but I think it's more watchable than some of the other things we've seen and been like, huh? So in that way, I was surprised that they gave that opening salvo action scene a la, early Bond movies or Bond movies where you just get like, we're going to show you just how badass this person is.
Yeah. It was a good opening scene. I liked it. And it was enough to have me hooked right off the bat because it was like, are we going to have like this long traveling montage of him going from place to place, blah, blah, blah. Like, nope. Gunfight, flamethrowers, bombs, evasion,
Just
everything.
destroying walkers.
Yeah. Pretty
Full
sweet.
on
Pretty sweet.
ass-kicking walkers.
Yeah, and you get a little bit of the aerial attacks with the X-Wings, and I think there were some B-Wings in there as well. So I thought that was cool. I liked seeing some of that stuff, and it was cool being able to see some of the people that were in there. Like Carson was awesome to see back. And I just like that guy, both his character and I like him as an actor. He's just a cool, familiar face from the TV show that you see. It was cool to see Sigourney Weaver in some combat as well. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
I was thinking one thing though.
Yeah.
With and maybe you could shed a little bit of insight. I was always under the impression that is it the B wings or the Y wings that all the old guys, basically it's all like the old fighters use. Is it the B or the Y wings?
B
I can't
wings
remember.
or Y wings were the ones that they used in the bombing runs on like the Death Star.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
B wings were like introduced later.
Like, okay, so the gold leader in A New Hope, that was
He's in a Y wing.
He was in a okay, all right. So I was thinking like, so wait, should Sigourney Weaver along with Carson and anyone else that looked older, should they all just be in Y wings? Because I feel like that was like a missed opportunity to where it's like they should have just had like everyone just like old crusty rebellion people just like, this is my Y wing. This here's a classic. This is kind of funny stuff, but I don't know. Like is that true? Is that accurate to lore at all?
I think it's more of a they use it's like if you need a bomber, you use a Y wing. If you just need an all around fighter, you use an X wing.
Okay.
I was surprised there wasn't more A wings in it, which is like the faster of the ships. But they did. I thought they did a good job of variance and Sigourney Weaver to me like did not. I was sad seeing this movie and like that was supposed to be Carl Weathers. That's the only thing that was missing for me was Carl Weathers from this movie. But
so you're saying that Sigourney Weaver's character should have been Carl Weathers?
Would have. I guarantee it would have been. He would have been just given more bounties. It would have been the same thing. But he's not here. And Sigourney Weaver has some gravitas. And
yeah, for anyone who said that she phoned it in too, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I thought,
what is she supposed to do?
Great.
That's one of those things where you're never going to please Star Wars fans. Like I am frustrated with my own fandom that these people are that there are some people out there that just their expectations are a little bit too high. It's nothing's going to be perfect. Like the time you saw this movie when you were 14. It's not.
Was there anything, speaking of like the fandom just kind of betraying you, was there anything that marthed you in this movie?
The only thing that marthed me was the audience. Like there was applause at the end of the movie, but like nobody was really excited. And that might have been it. That might have been the thing that frustrated me the most. Because the movie met expectations in my eyes, right? It's not Rogue One, which absolutely blew out all possible expectations of what that movie could have been. Like that movie is awesome. In the top 5 Star Wars movies, I think.
Yeah.
This isn't, but it's not The Last Jedi by any means. It's not The Rise of Skywalker. So it's good. It could have been Solo.
Yeah, well, which you liked, by the way. I don't know why.
Because it's a Star Wars movie. That's the only reason. What Martha'd you?
So it Marthaed me a little bit when Grogu heals Mando, because I feel like because he's so young and because he's well, relatively young Force user, I feel like he should have been super wiped out and tired after that, not building a hut and, like doing everything, like going naked and afraid style out in wherever system that they were. You know what I mean? Like it should have taken more out of his little body, not just, okay, he's healed. Better go walk very slowly across this forest and try and build a little shelter for him.
I think that shows the impact that Luke's training had.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Luke died by force projecting himself though, so I don't know. That's why I feel like there's some inconsistencies in this Star Wars universe, but yeah, I
Luke
don't know. I
gave
guess Rey
himself to the
didn't.
Force. Can we say it that way? I don't know. He was real
Yeah,
sweaty,
you can.
wasn't he?
It makes it even worse. Hashtag Luke has no cardio. Make it so. That's exactly what should be trending after.
Let's not
Any
talk about
time
terrible
someone
Star Wars
talks about
movies.
that.
Let's talk about the good one.
The good one. That's
Yeah, I expected to be annoyed by something in this, and the road to the hut thing, the tie back to the so much tie back. I wanted to be frustrated with it, but I was just like, what else are they gonna do? Like what? This Filoni, in my opinion, has my permission to be self-aggrandizing and really pop the stuff that he's done because he's the only one doing anything. So yes, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Though Road to the Hut was the most annoying character in that movie, which my son really likes. He wants to watch the Clone Wars animated a lot, so he understood who it was, which I thought was really cool.
I wasn't annoyed by him. I could agree with people saying that Jeremy Allen White kind of phoned
Not
it in
in
for
this
like the
movie.
first.
He wasn't annoying in this movie. He was annoying in the Clone Wars animated movie. Yeah, super annoying.
Gotcha. Was he just like was he young?
He was like a baby Hut.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, not other than that. I mean, overall, nothing else really Marthaed me on anything. So I was pretty happy with the presentation, if you will, of the movie.
So that begs the question, Dan, and I'm going to ask you because, yeah, why not? When it comes to the Mandalorian and Grogu, can you do this all day?
Action was great. The Star Wars aura of being in a theater was fun. Like unfortunately it fell flat because a lot of the audience just wasn't really into it. But I love the callbacks. I love the Easter eggs. And holy shit. The music, the banger of the Shikari theme, excellent. The first thing that I in the theater, as we're listening to this, I was like, dude, this is fucking sweet. And the fact that they played it again and again throughout the movie, I was like, fuck yeah, that's the one thing I'm going to remember from this movie. Such a sweet, sweet tune. So Ludwig, whatever his name is, who came up with the score, banger score. And the first thing I did was, after I saw this movie, I posted to TikTok and was like, all right, who else was vibing out to this song? Because it's just badass. And so it's on my like YouTube favorited or liked videos. So it comes up on my music playlists every now and then. It's just so cool. Such a great sound. And yeah, the utilization of a lot of the Mando score throughout the movie too. So you got action, really, really good action and choreography. So well deserved to the stuntmen being recognized in the cast list because it was fucking amazing. Really good. I mean, if you've got a Star Wars movie that has John Wick action along with little cutesy characters on top of banger songs, fuck yeah, I could do it all day. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm going to have to return the favor though, Mark. Mark, the resident Jedi, the man who knows Star Wars in and out, at least referring in this podcast, when it comes to the Mandalorian and Grogu, can you do it all day?
Obviously, I'm going to say yes, but I'm going to say this is a movie that I'm not like, I need to go back and see it in the theater.
Okay.
I know I'll end up watching it again because my son will want to watch it again, but I'm not like craving it for the deep lore. Like every other Star Wars movie that's come out in the theater, I've gone to see more than once because like I felt like I missed something or like I wanted to pick up those little extra pieces. This one, was a very get your arms around it. It's here. We got it. It went down smooth. I'll wait for it to hit streaming. That being
Okay.
said, it was very good, but it's not like I hunger to see this. But of course, it's going to be added to the all day because it's a default Star Wars setting. But yeah, it's going to look great on my TV, is all I'm saying.
Fair enough. I actually saw this in 3D, so I might go back and see it in standard just because I felt like there were some things that kind of took away from it, and the 3D wasn't. It didn't really add a whole lot either. I should
Does
have.
3D
I should
do
have
it for
not
you at
seen it.
all anymore?
It doesn't, but because my youngest was going with me, I was like, "Do you want to go see it in 3D?" He's like, "Oh yeah, okay." And then afterwards, he was thinking like, "There's only a few things in 3D." I was like, "Son of a bitch, why did you notice that?" Like, God damn it. But it was fine. It was a fun time. Like I figured, you know what? Like there's movies that do 3D, and this one it wasn't great. Like it wasn't like an Avatar where if you saw that in 3D, you'd probably get like a whole lot more of appreciation for it. This was fine. It was all right, but yeah,
I
good
wonder how
movie
it would be
overall though.
4DX. There's not a 4DX theater around me.
Yeah, there's one that's not really close to me, and the only time I've ever gone to see it was for Endgame. So for me to go drive like 50 minutes, hour plus with traffic, it's got to be like an Endgame type movie. So, but that's it. That wraps it up for another episode of the I Can Do This All Day podcast. I'm Dan, the part-time Avenger. That's Mark, the resident Jedi.
Let us know what you thought of the Mandalorian and Grogu. Folks, like, subscribe, hit us up on the socials at I Can Do This All Day podcast across the board. We know that there'll be comments. We know that there'll be haters, and we welcome it. Dan loves haters.